Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be discussing this particular topic, which is a Columbia student suspended over interviewing cheating tool raises $5.3 million to cheat on everything. So let's get into that topic today. This is an article that came up, and actually it's seen this like a couple of months back. Really, I thought it was going to be very interesting just to be able to review this and pretty much go over this whole entire story and just state my particular opinions on this whole thing about cheating on everything. Let's get into it. On Sunday, 21-year-old Chunjin Roy Lee announced he raised $5.3 million in seed money from Abstract Ventures and Sustyle Ventures for his startup Cluely that offers a AI tool to cheat on everything. The startup was born after Lee posted in a viral X thread that he was suspended by Columbia University after he and his co-founder developed a tool to cheat on job interviews for software engineers. That tool, originally called Interview Coder, is now part of their San Francisco-based startup Cluely. It offers users the chance to cheat on things like exams, sales calls, and job interviews thanks to a hidden in-browser window that cannot be viewed by interviewers or test givers. So that's pretty interesting. It's like you want to cheat on exams, right? Cheating on exams is crazy work, right? I don't really see the point of cheating on an exam. The whole purpose of an exam is to test your knowledge. Job interviews, the same thing. It's like it's supposed to test your knowledge. Sales calls, I can see yourself doing that on a sales call because like maybe you want, certain information, you want to do a retrieval and all that stuff, and you can, be able to pull out some information so that you can be able to pitch this idea to the customer, to the client. I mean, this whole idea of cheating on everything, there's more I need to say, but let's continue on with this, right? All right, so Cluely has published a manifesto comparing itself to inventions like the calculator and spell check, which were originally derived as cheating. Now, I believe, I can't remember, but there was this whole big debate when calculators first came in. Calculators were like, you can't do your calculations in your head or you can't write it on a piece of paper. But I mean, you have your uses for tools like calculators. It speeds up the process of your calculations. That's the whole point. So you don't have to do it by hand. You don't have to use paper. But at the same time, I believe you still need to know the underlying calculations of what you need to calculate, right? So one, the calculator can do a lot of things, but understanding what is outputting and what's going in, that's going to be very vital to understand like what's happening in between, because maybe you might not have the calculations right because you're possibly missing a particular step, and if you know the calculations that needs to happen in between, then you'll be more familiar with like what's the output. And it's the same thing with like AI to me. It's like pretty much AI is very much like a calculator. You give it some type of input and you give it some kind of output. Underlining, you still need to understand underneath calculations of what's getting outputted. So whether that's code, sales call, outputs for giving a response back to the client. But at the same time, it's like I wouldn't even use this for exams. It's still crazy work to use this for exams and job interviews. I can only imagine. All right, so I can only imagine someone using this tool for a job interview, and then they get the job, and then when given some specific task, some very, very specific to this particular project, and that they need to have like particular context of the overall architecture of this thing, then they start working, and then like little by little it starts to break down, like them not knowing what they need to know. So that's what I'm saying. Is like you still need to know some fundamental things before you actually input into the calculator and input into the AI. So still crazy work, man. Cluely also published a slickly produced but polarizing launch video of Lee using a hidden AI assistance to unsuccessfully lie to a woman about his age and even his knowledge of art on a date at a fancy restaurant. All right, and here's the video right here. So let's just play it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, how old did you say you were?
I'm 30 years old.
Your profile says you worked at Bananazon?
Yeah, I've been there for the past 8 years doing, like senior software engineering, so, like coding.
Really?
I know I look a little young for my age, but I promise you, I'm 30 years old.
Okay, well, maybe you are just way older than you look.
I saw in your profile that you're like into art.
Yeah, I've been really into illustrations by Nara lately. I didn't expect you to be an art guy. Oh man.
Here's your glass of rosé. And
Thank you.
sorry, we couldn't verify your ID.
Oh,
So here's a grape juice for you.
Oh, wait. I'm pretty sure there's a mistake.
I think you're way too young for me, so I'm gonna have to go.
Wait. Okay, look, listen, I know I lied about my age, I'm sorry, but the second I saw your profile and I saw the painting with the tulips, you're just like the most gorgeous girl ever, and you're such an unbelievably talented artist. Do you think you can just give me like one chance to show you I can make this work?
Can you give me some time to think about it? Are you free sometime next week?
Ooh, actually, next week I have this anime convention I gotta go to with my boys. Do you think you could do like next month, maybe?
Oh my god.
Yo, that's crazy work. That's crazy work. I'm just saying, like, bro, man, it's like, as this watching this video just gave me like the sense, like I was saying earlier, is like once you get it in, you know, you got the job and so on, but then you actually have to like prove yourself, like you know what you're doing. But then a lot of things start to pop up. Employers starting to get frustrated. Deadlines continue to get pushed back. Deadlines are not getting met because, yeah, you can produce a lot of information. You can retrieve a lot of information, but then you don't know how to like organize this information so that you can properly push it to what you needed to do with it. And this I think just overall is just like this. That's why you still need to know the fundamentals, even though we have this AI, capability and tools. It's like is a tool ultimately at the end of the day, and we just need to know exactly how we should be using this. It's like still learn the fundamentals of what you need to learn about that particular skill, but use AI as a supplementary tool so that you can increase your output, increase your efficiency, and so on. Maybe we can get into like what I've seen so far with developers using AI tools and their outputting code. Yeah, they're outputting a lot of code, but oh my gosh, it is just crazy unorganized. People just continue to forget that coding is not for computers per se. It's like coding language itself is for human consumption so that we can understand it, so that we can actually speak to the computer. First, it comes down to us: readability, maintainability, and just organization. It's just like there's so much stuff that is involved with coding that is not just outputting a whole bunch of lines of statements. Pretty much closing, I definitely approve of his tenacity of like continuing to go on. The only thing like I definitely say is like you wouldn't have really known other than like sharing your experience. And I think, during this time of like I said, with the attention economy and content creation, people just really want to be able to go viral, and anything with absurdity is pretty much going to go viral. With the idea of like interviewing tools and getting the offer and all that stuff, like the absurdity behind that is like, there's a tool that we can literally bypass all these lead code style interviews and literally ace them and get the job that we always wanted to have. That's what people want. That's what people been trying to do. They've been trying to crack the coding interview forever, and that's why you have books and all that stuff. Cheating on everything, that's, like I said, it's still crazy work. Like maybe on some things that makes sense that you need to have retrievals, like sales calls and stuff like that. That makes sense. Exams, interview calls and stuff like that, I wouldn't necessarily that would be like a really great thing to do, because like I want really great people to work with, and someone who's constantly asking AI, hey, how you do this, how you do this, how do you do this, and not really relying on their own critical thinking, actually discussing, because most of the time with like software, you're discussing with people and you trying to figure out what their needs are. What's the point of like with a developer who needs to like speak to the business to translate their stuff into actual logic? There will be like literally no point. And I really don't see business people building out stuff that makes sense from a technical aspect. It will literally just flop on its head immediately. Yeah, this is a very interesting way to go about it. And yeah, I wish them best. Definitely gonna be following this story for sure. See you guys in the next one. Peace.